Welcome everybody, my name is Yehoshua and today we will learn the third Mishnah of Masechet Horayot. This Mishnah discusses a very special type of Korban of atonement, in a case when the high Jewish court misled the congregation. They gave a mistaken instruction to the people that something is allowed, is permissible, when in fact it is not, and the people followed that instruction and violated whichever mitzvah that was. In that case, they have to bring a korban, an offering of korban par elem davar shel tzibur, to atone for that mistake of the masses caused by the high court. This Mishnah is coming to teach us that they only are liable to bring this korban when they instruct the people in their wrong instruction. They nullified one detail of a mitzvah, but not in the case when they nullified a whole entire mitzvah that's explicitly written in the Torah. The reason for that is that if something is written in the Torah, for example, Shabbat, and Beit Din say there's no such thing as Shabbat, then everybody knows that's a wrong instruction and that they shouldn't follow it, regardless of what the Beit Din say. And in this case, the Beit Din won't be liable for this special korban. Let's move on with the Mishnah. Says the Mishnah, Horu Beit Din la'akor et kol haguf. If Beit Din instructed the people to nullify an entire concept of mitzvah. For instance, Amru en nida b'Torah. If Beit Din says, for example, there's no such thing as nida in the Torah. Hilchot nida, when a woman has her period, then she is impure, forbidden to have any physical relationship with her husband. So if they said there's no such thing in the Torah at all, or in Shabbat b'Torah, there's no such thing as Shabbat in the Torah, Shabbos does not exist anymore, chas v'shalom. Or they said ein avodah zarah b'Torah, there's no such thing as idolatry in the Torah. It's permissible to commit idolatry. If they said each one of these things, the halacha is harei elu pturim, they are exempt from the korban. Because the truth is, the congregation should have not been misled by that instruction that's obvious to everybody that is just a wrong instruction, because everyone who can read the Bible knows that there is nida, there is Shabbat, and there is a prohibition to commit idolatry. However, horu levatel miktat ulkayem miktat, if Beit Din instructed the people to observe some bits of that mitzvah, however, to nullify other bits of the same mitzvah, harei elu chayavim, they will be liable for the korban. For such a wrong instruction to the people, they will be liable for that korban offering of par elem davar shel tzibur. Keitzad, how? Give us a few examples. The Mishnah will give us 3 examples. Example number 1, Amru, if Beit Din said, Yesh nida b'Torah, there is the concept, the mitzvah of nida, that one should not lay with a woman when she is a nida. Aval, however, habal shomeret yom keneged yom, there is a halacha that if a woman sees bleeding outside the time of her period, when she's naturally pure, and then she would see a bleeding one day, she has to keep clean and stay away from her husband for a whole day. It's called shomeret yom keneged yom. She has to observe one clean day before she goes back to her husband. And in this day, then she has to go to the mikveh, and the other for the next night, she's pure back again. But however, one who would lay with that woman during that day is liable for karet. If that Beit Din said that habal shomeret yom keneged yom, that a person who would lay with her is patur, is exempt, that's misleading the public, that's misleading the congregation. That's one type of mistake that Beit Din could make. Another example, if Beit Din say, Yesh Shabbat b'Torah, there is Shabbos, of course, nobody's saying there is not Shabbos, it's explicitly in the text. However, aval, hamotzi mereshut hayachid lereshut harabim, one who would carry any object from reshut hayachid, from a private domain to the public domain, it's called a tiltul, hotza'ah mereshut lereshut. We know that one like that is liable for chilul Shabbat, for korban chatat, and the Beit Din would say if one did that, he's patur, he's exempt. That's another type of mistake that Beit Din could make. Example number 3 is when Beit Din say yesh avodah zarah b'Torah, there is a concept of idolatry. Of course, we're not allowed to worship idols. Aval, however, Hamishtachaveh patur. One who bows down to an idol, that's not considered idol worship. This specific act is not a forbidden act of worship of an idol. So in each one of these events, Harei elu chayavin. If Beit Din made such a mistake, they nullify just one detail of a broader mitzvah. Harei elu chayavin. Beit Din would be liable once again for this korban par he'elem davar shel tzibur. And the Mishnah explains why, because there's pasuk in the Torah that's talking about this korban, shene'emar, as it says in Sefer Vayikra, v'ne'elam davar. It's called par he'elem davar, when something is hidden from the eyes of Beit Din. So ne'elam davar, says the Mishnah, velo kol haguf. One thing of a mitzvah, but not the entire concept of the mitzvah. And therefore, only when they nullified one detail of a broader mitzvah are they liable for this korban. Leiteraot, and Shabbat Shalom for everybody, and may we all hear b'sorot tovot for kol Acheinu Beit Yisrael. Shabbat Shalom.